MT guitar. Today we're going to be looking at why pentatonic patterns are so essential and how to get going on them. Alright, so this is going to be a pretty powerful lesson to build vocabulary, to build technique, to actually boost our creativity, to really start to get these notes under our fingers in a way that our ear can latch onto. So I'll explain. And it might be surprising how patterns can actually be the quickest path to creativity, amazingly. In this lesson, we're going to be covering 7 really essential patterns that I've used. I've used it to not only improve my technique and my fretboard understanding, but also, like I said, to build vocabulary, to make it so I can play things that I'm hearing with more ease and more clarity. Now, there are 7 days in a week, so hypothetically, you could say, today I'm going to look at this pattern. I'm going to kind of move it around different positions, maybe different keys. And you'll find that you really don't need much, just like a pattern or two. In this case, just one pattern for a certain day of the week could give you the keys that you need to unlock a lot of the fretboard and also some creativity. First, I just want to do it in E blues because E blues provides a few advantages. One thing is we can use the open strings. And so they're pretty easy. So anyone can kind of latch onto them almost at any level, maybe not total beginner, of course, but surely beginner, intermediate, and beyond. And we see a lot of songs in the key of E. All right, so it's a very useful key to practice in. We're also going to be doing quite a bit in A and A minor as well. So if I have a blues shuffle, the first pattern is going to be using triplets. So we're going to be going like, okay. So I have a blues shuffle, and I'm going to go up 3 notes in a triplet pattern. That's just one octave, but let's cover what's happening. We're going to go up 3 notes of the minor pentatonic scale in E minor. So first off, let's get these notes down. O3, O2, 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 O3, O3. Okay, very good scale to know. Right now though, it's just kind of a scale. We're just going to kind of going up and down. There's no real groove to it necessarily. There's no musicality to it necessarily either. So that's just the starting place. Now if we do a blues shuffle, we can either go E7, down, up, or boogie woogie, all downs. The A string is going 2 to 4. Both are effective. And that's going to get the groove going for us, so now we can do our triplets. So here we go. I'm going to go up 3 on each note of the scale. So I'm starting from the first note of the scale here, which is E, and then the next note, which is G, up 3 from there. And then the next note, which is A, up 3 from there, and then the next note, which is B. Now, I would think of these in scale degrees, but we'll spare us the theory stuff for today. Just go ahead and learn this pattern. Then you would keep going from D, and then now you'd be at the octave. E, G, A, B, D. Now you'd go down from each note. So you can switch back and forth between the scale and the pattern, all right? So it sounds like this. Chord. Now I might do the next octave. Maybe I do all of it now. Going down. Okay. So I'm going to write all these exercises out and put them on the Patreon in a tab format. That might be a good resource for you so you can see it all written out. And I'll throw a couple tips and suggestions in there for you as well. Big shout out and thank you to all the patrons there. All right, so here's the reason why patterns can be so powerful for your creativity. We know the obvious, that patterns are good for your technique. They also help you with understanding the fretboard. But some things that are not so obvious are patterns help you digest the notes of a key or of a scale. if I know that the pentatonic scale has these notes. Right now it's just kind of memorizing them, and if I start putting them in patterns, I'm putting them over a certain rhythm, and I'm feeling them more than thinking about them. And now my ear gets interested. So my ear begins to digest this material more quickly than, say, just my mind or just my fingers. So now the ear gets involved and all three things are working. It becomes musical, more interesting than just going up and down. Same thing with going down. It's just sounds like it could be slices of a solo. And now as I start to play this, my fingers are getting warmed up, my technique is getting warmed up, my right hand is getting warmed up, and my ear is getting involved. So now I can start to spin these patterns into music. Eventually I would maybe have a bunch of positions down. Like that, for instance. Maybe I go down a different position. And I'm really getting the hang of it. So now I can create my own music from it. Like, for instance, going up. That's just going up the fretboard there. How about down? Sliding, hammering on, pulling off. Going up 3, but then down the scale. Okay? Now when I solo over a backing track and it's going along, I can throw in any of those ideas. Maybe just a little snippet of it. Did you see that? I went up 3 notes and then decided to create a bendy riff there, right? Or how about... See, now I'm changing the rhythm. But now I'm really getting the triplet rhythm down. I'm getting the idea of how to go up and down, down. Go up and down, down. The second pattern, we're going to talk more about why this is important, but I'm just going to throw these patterns out to you as we go. The second pattern would be reversing the second half. So as I go up from the first note, I can go down to the second note of the scale. It happens to be the G note, which is the flat 3 of the key. But we're just thinking of these in terms of the order of the scale. So the first triplet pattern, the second triplet pattern, I'm going to go down. Next triplet pattern, go up, and then down. So it ends up sounding like this. Now it's more musical, right? So any position will work. Oh, sorry. Always switching directions. Now we're getting into ascending and descending, and this is very, very good because when I start making music now and improvising, right? It's like you can basically see how it allows you to stay in one area. For instance, if I say back to open so that we can follow along here, I can not go up the scale, I can just stay in one area. Up 3 notes, down 3 notes, right? And then the same thing. So from here, there's a good area. Up 3, down 3. To go anywhere. So I'm breaking these patterns up into interesting ways. All right, the third pattern would be now 4 notes. So we've done 3-note triplets, but what if I'm playing 4-note pattern? Well, let's switch to A minor. I can go up 4 notes from each note. So here's A, C, D, E, G, A. octave. So that would be 5/8, 5/7, 5/7, 5/7, 5/8, 5/8. And I'm going to go up 4 notes from the first note of the scale, which is A. Then the flat 3 is C, and I go up from here. It's the second group of 4 notes. And then the third group of 4 notes starts from the D, or the 4th note of the scale. 4th scale degree. All right. And then from the E. So it sounds like this. The 4th pattern will be switching the second half. So I go up, down, up, down, up, down, down. Okay, then I'm done. Then I go down, up, down, up. Now if I do other positions and I'm making music with it, Alright, so one thing you can do is you can go up a certain position, down the next position, and then up the next position, and really work the fretboard. So it doesn't have to be fast, but kind of run through it quickly here. Going up, position 1 of A minor pentatonic. Now, down position 2. Next position. Next position. Great workout. Kind of hard to talk while I do it. Next position. Yeah, sorry. Finally, I'm back to position, which I'm messing up because it's so high. But you get the point. If I wasn't speaking, maybe I would hopefully be a little more clean. That's another good point, is that exercises teach you where you're weak and where you could use a little work. So now, if I'm playing over an A minor backing track, I can take any one of those nuggets, right? Any 4-note pattern and throw it in there. Just a little piece. Maybe switch it out. I added a bend, hammer, slide. Now break it up. See how when my fingers are moving, it might be easier to blast off and be creative from there. So I take something that is solid, my fingers understand, my technique is there, my ear hears something it likes, and it creates variations from there. So we're getting vocabulary going, we're getting our fingers going. That's why I wanted to kind of play these first and then show you how really that you don't need much to get. If I do that for a while, I can now use that to have it as a basis to be creative from. So it's a framework to create variations from. So now I can do my bluesy riffs. So that was starting with a 4-note grouping and then just a little kind of a blues pentatonic riff right there, right? So there's that. We have a few more to go. What if I skip a note each time? So instead of going from A to C, I go A to D. And then I go C to E. So I go like that. And then down. Skipping a note each time. Creates a lot of fourth intervals and some thirds. So good. Such a good exercise. Now I can reverse the second half. Here's pattern number 6. Going up and then down from E to C. So A to D, E to C, like this. creates like a really open kind of sound. Also gets you up the fretboard pretty quickly. So again, a whole day of the week, I'm blowing through these because it's the nature of the lesson with 7 exercises, but you might want to spend several hours, right, just going to town on any given key, any given position, or several positions, and seeing how it affects your playing over a backing track. All right, that was pattern number 6. The last one would be enclosures, and we're going to be now playing A, D, C, surrounding the C. So we play the note below C, which is A, and above, which is D, and then finally landing on C. Now the target note is D, so we're going to be playing C, E, D. Now we surround E. Now we surround G next, so we go E, A, G. Okay, so it's like this. Okay. We're always surrounding the note. All right, that one's a little bit harder to understand conceptually, but it's very, very important for improvising. If let's say I want to target this A in this position, I might go, it's actually very, very musical. Let's say I want to target this note, I'm going to have to go way up here. See? I go below, above, and then hit it. Let's say I'm back in E blues. Okay? I'm targeting the E, so I go below, above, and then the E. Or how about I've target the D note, so I go below, above. See? Now let's target the E. Let's target the other E. Okay. All right, I know that was kind of fast, but that's a lot to chew on. Wanted to throw it all out there for you. Go ahead, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Please do check out the Patreon where this will all be written out, and I hope you have a good one.